Hey Internet, Captain Erica here. I'm excited to do this video today. As you saw, it was by the title. It is a review of the BioLite Camp Stove 2. A good friend of mine sent this to me to review. It's his, but he hasn't used it yet, so I'm excited to get to try it out. If you guys don't know, BioLite is a company that makes stoves that use thermal heat, and there's like a little fan in here to charge electronics. So very cool concept for those who want to keep their technology charged in the field. I know that like we go outside to like get away from technology, but just with like rechargeable flashlights and phones and using GPSs and things like that these days, I think it's really important to be able to charge your gear in the woods if you can. That's kind of on the forefront of my mind even more and more now that I have a child. So let me show you what I have set up, and then we'll do the test. Okay, so here's my like stump that I've got the stove sitting on. I've processed a little bit of wood here, and then the other day I was having some fun and I got a whole bucket of stuff here. So I'm just gonna use my phone to time stuff and use as like the test charger. I have a Samsung Galaxy S7, so not the newest, fanciest phone, but fancy enough that we should be able to see kind of like how, if the output is worth the like effort to bring this stove. Got the directions here. This package comes with a USB cable and a little light that plugs in. So that's kind of cool. Before we get started, this is where you plug in your USB device or your battery pack or whatever you're charging. The power button, I just turned it on and there's just barely any charge in here. Each bar, I guess, is like a full charge for a phone, they say. And then this middle bar is the fan speed, and this is the heat. The hotter your fire is, the more energy output you're going to get to charge the battery. So there's like a battery in here. You can also charge if the fire is going even if the battery isn't charged, but if fire has to be going pretty hot, it says. So that's neato. So I'll read the directions more here in a bit, but I want to plug this in so I can plug my phone in, and then let's get this lit and we'll see what it does. Alright, these are the stormproof matches my sister got me for Christmas. Let's see, let's put those away from the fire. I'm going to stick this stuff in there. Okay, so I've got the fire going and the fan just started, so that's cool. You can see here the fire's like heat indicator, if you will, is here. The fan indicator's here. It looks like it's not moving very much. And then this is the battery charge on the actual device, so that's cool. We're doing good. I've never used one of these things, so I'm pretty excited to try this out. Okay, I'm gonna get some fuel queued up here. So you can see how it's breezy out in my backyard right now, but you can see how the fan is kind of like spinning the fire. It's like a little fire tornado. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so I gotta keep adding fuel here to keep the fire hot, and you're supposed to keep the sticks inside below the little like metal rod that is absorbing the heat. So luckily I cut up a bunch of short sticks for this experiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my phone down on the ground away from the stove so that it doesn't like catch on fire, or so it doesn't melt. It is 3:18 right now. My phone is disconnected because this is blinking, and I'm at 58% battery. Okay, so that didn't take very long. It's 3:21. So it's 3:21. My phone just started charging again. So that was just what, 3 minutes? Up to 58%. Might have still been on. I think it was on 58%. So let's see. Hopefully it'll jump up soon here. The amperage is really like low according to this app, which is, just keep in mind, isn't the most reliable thing. You can actually get a USB amperage checker online, but they cost a few bucks. So my phone just gave me an indicator to use the charger that goes with the phone. That's funny. The amperage on my meter is up to around 1,000, just like it was in my wall charger inside, so that's cool. What's interesting is this is actually kind of loud, which I didn't expect for some reason, but it's that little fan, you can, you know, it's working here. So I got my cook pot here. I'm gonna make some tea. Interesting. So if you put a cook pot on this, you don't have any room to put like sticks in the fire. And these twig stoves do require a fair amount of attention. So that's interesting. I'm gonna have some perfect peach tea here. Love this stuff. It's like so good you don't need any sugar or anything. Okay, and I just wanted to make a note. It is 3:39 p.m. and my phone is now at 68% battery, so that's a 10% increase over the last, 20 minutes. So I think that's pretty good, and if I stop fiddling with my phone and looking at this, it'll go even faster. So I need to stoke my fire again, and so in order to do that, I'm actually gonna have to take the water on and off, which is like annoying but not that annoying. So I let it die down a bit, but I threw in, this is very dry wood, but I threw in a bunch of these little things, and then I increased the fan to like get it to light again, because there was only a small amount of coals at the bottom. Okay, water's boiling. Yep, no, rolling boiling is happening. 3:46, so not too long at all. That was that less than 10 minutes? That might have been just over 10 minutes, but anyway. For me fiddling around with the fire, because I had to take this off a couple times and stuff to get it to boil, that's not bad at all. The fire, like, this is like a fire, but it isn't that hot on the outside. Like, it's warm, but it isn't like insanely hot, like far outside of the stove. So that's really interesting. I'm gonna turn this down. So I'm still kind of perfecting how this works, but I get the sense that the fan just needs to be on high for a short period of time until your fire is really going again. There is like an overheating protection, so if the fan will shut off if the fire gets super hot. So the amperage output is remaining steady as long as I keep the fire going and stoked. So that's really awesome. It's 3:54 p.m. My battery's at 69%, so that's not like an insane increase over the last half an hour or so. But I have like been using my phone to like check all these things and stuff. So I imagine it'd be probably closer to 75% if I wasn't fiddling with it so much. And of course, this is my first time using the BioLite stove, so there might be some tricks and things. But overall, this is super cool, and I want to just say thanks to BK Treadhead on Instagram for sending his stove to me to borrow. I think that this type of thing is this weird combo of like nature and like getting out and getting away from technology, but also like being able to stay connected. And we had the power go out this winter for a few days in my town, and it really made me like realize how much I rely on my phone for communication, because we don't have a landline. And so I want to find alternative energy sources besides solar for my phone, because in the middle of winter in Oregon you don't see the sun for like ever, because there's always clouds. It's just always cloudy, and when it was snowing, of course, it was snowing. Cool. I would love to have like a giant version of this, and I know they make some larger versions like of these stoves, but it would be super cool to have like a wood stove with like a giant one of these connected to it in your home, you know, so that you could just always have electricity. it's just a little past, it's 4:01 and my phone's at 71%. Now my phone isn't some sort of like universal like meter for like if this thing charges really well. What I want to try to do is just unplug this and see how fast this battery fills up, because each battery bar, it says, is like a full phone charge. And right now it's still at the indicator, like only one bar. So I'm just going to unplug the phone. And I'm just curious, so it's 4:02. I'm curious to see how fast this fills up without a phone charging. Okay, so it is 4:19. The battery bar just jumped from 2 bars to a blinking 3rd bar. So what that means is that the BioLite stove battery has charged enough charge in theory for an entire phone charge, which means it takes just under 20 minutes based on like my novice use of this to get the stove to do that. While I was fiddling around with it, I noticed that there's like a very fine like tuning you can do with the fan. You don't want the fan running at full blast all the time, because then you're using a lot of the juice. But if you kind of keep it going a little bit, it can keep the fire as hot as possible. So anyway, with the fuel I was using, which is just like dry cedar and fir, you know, I was able to get that much of a charge. What that means is if you want to fill this battery up all the way, you got to sit here for a couple hours and really manage your fire very well. Or if you want to charge your phone a significant amount, you're going to need to commit some time to do so. But that's pretty great. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching the BioLite Camp Stove 2 video. Thank you BK Treadhead for letting me borrow it. That's his Instagram handle. I'll link his profile in the description below. But very interesting product. I think that there's a place for things like this, and I am excited to see like what the technology kind of evolves from stuff like this. It does require a fair amount of biomass, i.e. like sticks and logs and stuff, to charge a lot of things. So solar is the way to go if you have a lot of sun. That's my opinion. But definitely in the winter especially, something like this would be just really great as emergency power backup or anything like that. Or if you want to bring it camping. Anyway, sorry I've been a little MIA lately. Life has just been kind of nuts, and I have a lot of videos planned. I just got to execute the plan. So, Meandering Maker Haversack in-depth review is coming up. I'm going to try to do some more bow drill fires, things like that. So stay tuned. If you aren't already subscribed, click that button down below and for more outdoorsy stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Peace.